Hey, Tommy from the Run Testers. In this video, we are going to be talking about the best daily shoes you can buy at the moment. So we're going to be covering 4 different categories: best non-plated daily shoe, best plated daily shoe, best cushioned daily shoe, and best value daily shoe. Right, let's dive in and see what we picked in our list of shoes.
We've seen the carbon plates and other technology that's been introduced through racing shoes trickle down into daily trainers over the past couple of years, and some of the best daily trainers do use that technology, but there are certainly still lots of excellent non-plated daily trainers out there that are just more simple shoes that are still really versatile. There are probably 2 standouts in this category, and our absolute favourite overall is the New Balance Rebel V4. This is the 4th version of the Rebel, which is a lightweight, plateless shoe with a relatively low stack that has been in the past pitched as much more of a speed-focused shoe, but with the latest version, the stack's been increased a little bit and it's become a lot wider, and that's made it a lot more comfortable and supportive for easy runs, relaxed long runs as well, while it's still a very lightweight shoe that you can pick up the pace in. This is certainly one of the more versatile shoes out there that doesn't have a plate, and that's down to the new midsole design you have with the Rebel V4, which is a new version of New Balance's fuel cell foam. That's a blend of Puma and EVA foam, and that blend produces a really nice balanced ride. It's soft but not too squishy, so you're kind of wading through the foam. It's got a nice amount of response, a little bit of bounce. It's not as all that propulsive and impressive as the best Puma foams you'll find on the market, but it does create a nice balanced ride, and the shoe is very lightweight as well. So you can't really do anything in this shoe. Really enjoyed taking this to long distances. I've gone down the track in it, and we rate it as the best overall daily trainer available if you're not going to use a plate. The runner-up though is very close. It's the Hoka Mach 6. This is another excellent plate-free shoe that again just has a very lightweight design, but a lot of comfort and stability. That means it is very versatile. It's great for cruising through long runs in particular, the Mach 6. Very comfortable ride, nice and balanced, and you can pick up the pace in it just because it is a pretty lightweight shoe. You've got a supercritical EVA midsole on the Hoka Mach 6. There's a little bit of bounce and response. As with the Rebel, you're not getting an incredibly squishy ride or phenomenally bouncy one, but it's just really nicely balanced. It's comfortable. There is a bit of pop there if you want to up the speed, and all round the Hoka Mach 6 is just an excellent shoe. Both of these shoes are pretty good value as well compared to super trainers, and you can really do a bit of everything in them. When it comes to the other shoes to consider in this category, there are a couple of really good options from Asics, and one of them is a contender for being the best overall if it wasn't so expensive. It's the Asics Superblast. This is a phenomenal shoe. It's got an FF Turbo midsole, which is the foam used on the previous generations of Asics' Metaspeed super shoes, so the Sky Plus and the Edge Plus. It's a really bouncy foam and a very comfortable one as well, and despite the massive stack on this shoe, which is 45mm at the heel, it still weighs in around 250 grams in my size. You're getting a shoe that can do everything, even though you are going to have to pay through the nose through it. Very comfortable, great for long runs, speedy enough to do short distance work in there as well. Yeah, great shoe. Asics also has the Novablast 4, which is a much better value shoe. It hasn't got the same foam as a Superblast in the midsole, but it is a very versatile shoe all round as well. It's comfortable, great for cruising for long runs, and it's another max stack shoe that offers a lot of versatility for your daily training. Last shoe we're going to mention in this category is a Saucony Ride 17, which is more cushioned and a bit more geared up towards the easy and long runs than the other shoes we've covered so far. It still has a bit of speed in it though, with the Power Run Plus foam delivering a nice poppy ride. It's still a pretty versatile shoe and certainly a comfortable one. We've got a whole section on cushioned daily trainers to come as well, but the Ride 17 probably stands out from that crowd by being that little bit more versatile and punchy for fast runs, while still being very comfortable for relaxed stuff.
Now, it was the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3 that really set the benchmark for the best plated daily trainers, and our top pick in this category is the next-gen successor, the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4. Now, the Speed 4 builds on the Speed 3 legacy, and simply put, this is a shoe that can handle almost any run. Saucony largely stuck with a winning blueprint here. You've got light, comfortable, roomy, airy and perforated zonal mesh uppers, a decent sized stack of Power Run PB P-back super foam. You've got a winged nylon plate that's been re-engineered to provide more stability, rigidity and forefoot flexibility, and the shoe retains Saucony speed roll geometry with a decent rocker shaping that really adds to the overall clip along. There's also more rubber on the outsole to boost the durability here. For £180, this shoe offers great all-rounder value. It'll happily soak up the road on easy and recovery efforts, but it's also excellent for your faster efforts, intervals and tempo runs. It's lively, cushioned and wonderful underfoot. It feels light and full of energy, a punchy controlled response without any harshness or fussy business with the uppers. There's a lightweight precision here in each step to the shoe. Nothing feels bulky, cumbersome or baggy, and that's where these definitely have the edge over non-plated rivals like the Novablast 4. Now, our second top recommendation in the plated daily trainers category is the Asics Magic Speed 3, £160 or $160. It's a slightly cheaper daily trainer racer than the Endorphin Speed 4. And this latest gen packs more Flight Foam Blast Plus midsole foam, a Metaspeed series inspired upper, and a new overall lighter design. This is a trainer stroke racer that lives up to the concept of being a cheaper version of a full carbon shoe. It's a fast, performance oriented shoe that's very quick and nippy, certainly over shorter distances. It's nice and lightweight, maybe not as good for cruising easy runs as the Magic Speed 2 or even the Endorphin Speed 4. So it lacks a little bit of that versatility that you'll get in the Endorphin Speed 4. But if you're looking for a fast, speed-focused daily trainer, the Magic Speed 3 is an excellent option that we highly recommend.
So cushion daily trainers have always been around, but it definitely has been more of a trend for brands, particularly over the last 12 to 18 months, to launch shoes that go high on cushioning, give you that protection and comfort over longer distances, and just be something that can handle a lot of training time. Now, in terms of our top pick right now for that kind of cushion daily trainer profile, we would be going for the Saucony Triumph 21. Now, we know the Triumph 22 is out. We are testing away on that shoe, and there's a first run video up on the channel. But for now, we would probably say the Saucony Triumph 21 is the one that we unanimously kind of pick in terms of that kind of cushion daily trainer profile. I think when you think about what you're getting here in the midsole in terms of the upper, you've got that kind of comfort in the right places. It's a flat knit style upper. You're getting good level of padding in the heel and the tongue. And then the midsole has that Power Run Plus kind of midsole foam, but also a kind of Power Run Plus sock liner. So you do really kind of sink into the shoe, but there is some bounce there. There is some kind of plushness as well there too, to give you that level of comfort. But unlike a lot of cushion daily trainers, we think this is one that offers some versatility as well too. It's definitely a shoe that you can run long in, but it definitely is a shoe that can handle some more up-tempo running and can be a shoe that can handle a mixture of different runs, unlike a lot of other cushion daily trainer shoes that have appeared on the scene, as we said, over the last 12 to 18 months. Another pick for us and kind of a bit of a runner-up, and you might not be that surprised we're going to mention it, it is the Puma Velocity Nitro 3. And we just think in terms of value for money, this is one of the standout shoes you can pick up. If you are on a strict budget and you're looking for a shoe that can cope with a lot of running mileage, and also handle some kind of more up-tempo running as well too, this is one of the best shoes to do it outside of the Saucony Triumph 21. And what we like about this, first and foremost, it's a pretty good weight in terms of a cushion daily trainer shoe. It is also got a lovely kind of midsole foam in it, and a kind of midsole in general, which does have the capability of feeling nice and responsive when you are running a bit quicker, but definitely has that kind of comfort and protection when you are easing off as well too. And then you've got a very good outsole on there as well, so it's definitely well built for handling a lot of kind of running mileage, but also maybe going and do some lighter trail work as well too. Absolutely is capable of doing that. So our top cushion daily trainer pick is the Saucony Triumph 21, and our kind of runner-up is the Puma Velocity Nitro 3. So a few other shoes that have definitely stood out for us that I think worth considering here as well in this category. First, starting with the On Cloudsurfer 7. And again, I think that's another one that really kind of all surprised us and definitely saw On take its kind of shoes in a slightly different direction in terms of moving slightly away from that kind of firmer feeling kind of CloudTec cushioning to something that is still CloudTec at its core, but it is definitely a lot more plush, a lot more softer, a lot more comfortable on your legs, and coupled with an upper that really is snug and kind of hugs it in the right places. That is another shoe designed for kind of easy pace runs, and it really does look good and offer a really comfortable plush kind of feel in terms of that ride. So that's another one to consider here. There's also the Saucony Ride 17, which is slightly similar in terms of the profile of the Triumph 21. Another shoe that's a little bit cheaper, that can offer something that's going to cover a lot of easy runs, give that comfort, that kind of roomy feel, and a really kind of nice kind of snug feeling upper as well too. Another shoe worth looking at here in this category is the Brooks Glycerin 21. Now this is again another shoe that's kind of highly cushioned and is designed particularly for those kind of easy runs, and probably lacks a little bit of the versatility that you get with the Saucony Triumph 21. You've got a nice kind of thick, comfortable mesh upper. You've still got that DNA Loft V3 kind of nitrogen infused midsole foam. There's definitely more of it here on the Glycerin 21. And you've got a big kind of thick outsole that tells you that this is a shoe that's going to handle a lot of running time. and you get a kind of plush feeling, plenty of kind of midsole there underneath your foot that's going to give you protection, but also give you something that's going to feel comfortable over longer runs as well. So that's the Brooks Glycerin 21. You've also got things like the Asics Novablast 4, which definitely has a little bit more of a faster edge to some of the shoes that we've mentioned here, and that's mainly down to the fact that you've got a lighter shoe, you've got something that has a midsole that is definitely a little bit on the firmer side, but definitely means that allows it to be a little bit more responsive in general, and definitely feels like a shoe that can handle some quicker runs, but also be a shoe that you can run more relaxed and easier in as well. And last up is the New Balance 1080 V13, which was definitely a huge revamp from the previous 1080 shoes. It's a nice, super light cushioned daily trainer shoe. It's giving you something that's going to feel plush under your foot as well in terms of that kind of Fresh Foam X midsole foam, but you're also getting something with a rocker that's actually going to give you something that can handle some slightly more up-tempo running as well, but generally is designed for those easier runs from a surprisingly light overall design as well. So those are our picks of the top cushion daily trainer shoes and some other shoes to consider as well.
So best value trainer can be quite a tricky category to cover. A lot of brands do release cheaper shoes, but they don't tend to be as good or have the performance benefits that are associated with shoes in a higher category. So even though that you can get a cheap shoe, you often don't get the benefits that you're going to get from a more expensive shoe, because that's how running shoe brands work. What we often say with best value trainers is that there are brands that come out with cheaper shoes, but it's often better to look at older versions of more expensive shoes, or shoes in a higher price bracket, because then you tend to get very similar benefits from that shoe, but you're paying the same price as a value trainer. So our first pick for best value running shoes is going to come as no surprise to a lot of you. It's the Puma Velocity Nitro 3. We've been massive fans on the channel, all of us, of the Velocity Nitro range since it started. It's just a fantastic line of shoes which comes in at a really, really good price, but is comparable with shoes that are far more expensive than it. The Puma Velocity Nitro 3 has seen some updates, not many. It's a slight modification to the midsole and some upper changes. It still is a fantastic all-rounder daily trainer that comes in at a really, really good price. It's slightly more expensive than the older versions. Puma are obviously increasing the cost of their shoes as time goes on and inflation rises, but it is still a really, really good value shoe. And what you find about the Puma Velocity Nitro range is that it comes down in price quite quickly. Even though this shoe comes in at £105 at RRP, you can find it for around £60 now, which is an absolute steal for this shoe. It is a nice balanced shoe, so it has a good level of cushioning, but it's also quite versatile shoe as well. The cushioning isn't too soft, and it really does work well for lots of different sessions as well. It's definitely a great shoe to have if you're looking for one shoe. Maybe you're a beginner runner, or you're a general runner that just wants one pair of shoes to do all of your running in. Or it's a great shoe if you're looking for a cheap backup shoe to have in your rotation that you can use for pretty much anything and not worry about it over time wasting money and the shoe being not being durable. It's still a very durable shoe. It's great for easy runs. It's great for picking up the pace a bit. It's not the fastest shoe in the world, but for the price, you can't really expect that. And it's just really comfortable as well. It's got lots of padding around it. It's just a fantastic shoe out of the market at the moment, and well worth picking up, especially if you can get it at a really cheap price. So our next pick for daily shoe is the Asics Novablast 4. This is more expensive than all the other shoes that we've got in this category, but the reason why I've added this in is that if you want all the benefits of a good running shoe, a daily running shoe, you want a lot of versatility, you want a lot of comfort, this is one of the best options out there. It comes in at £135, which isn't really a value price, but you're getting a lot more from this shoe than you're going to get a lot from other shoes. So you're getting a really good level of cushioning. It works really well as an easy day shoe, but also it's one of the most versatile cushioned daily shoes out there. You can really pick up the pace in this shoe. The midsole foam has got a good balance of cushioning and softness, but it's still a little bit responsive as well. So it's a great shoe, especially if you're just looking for one pair of shoes to do all of your running in. This ticks a lot of those boxes, and it's the reason why it's such a popular shoe. The Novablast 4 is one of our favourite new versions of the Novablast. It's had an interesting line where some of the shoes have changed the way the shoe feels. Novablast 4 is back to what we expect from it, a bit more responsive, a bit punchier, and just a great versatile all-round shoe that's very, very comfortable to wear. So well worth picking up, and hopefully it will go down in price because it's been out for a while now. Other shoes that you might want to look at in the best value category are the Nike Pegasus 40. The Pegasus 40 is a very, very long line of shoes, and it has changed quite a bit over the time it has existed. It has now become more of a standard daily shoe that is really just there to tick off the miles. It's a bit of a workhorse, and it doesn't really excel in any area. It's not the fastest shoe, it's not the most cushioned shoe, but it's really, really solid runner. You get quite a stable ride with the Pegasus 40, which means it's good for lots of runners, especially beginners. It also has an excellent outsole on it. You can really use this on most surfaces and even some lighter trails as well. The outsole is really, really solid, and it has a very comfortable upper as well. So this comes in at £120, but you can get it significantly cheaper now. You can get it down to about £65 now, which is a great value for a good workhorse daily shoe. Another great shoe is the Saucony Axon 3. Like the Pegasus 40, it's a very balanced shoe. The midsole is not too soft, not too firm, sits in the middle there, so it makes it a fairly versatile shoe. It's not the most versatile shoe on the market, but it's a good solid shoe that picks up some of the technologies that exist in the more premium shoes, including the Power Run midsole foam, which used to be one of the main foams that Saucony used in a lot of its high-level shoes. Saucony Axon 3 comes at £110, which is quite pricey, but you can find it for about £60 in most places now, which makes it a really good option as well if you're just looking for a solid workhorse daily shoe. The Kiprun KS900 Lite is another interesting option if you're looking for a value shoe, but it's a shoe that is really targeted at value. So Decathlon create this shoe, and it comes in at £90 at RRP, which is really, really cheap for a shoe at the top level price that it will come in at. It's a solid shoe, it's very comfortable, it's designed to be a bit more cushioned, it's designed to really tick off those easy miles. That's really where it sits. It's actually, this foam isn't as soft as you'll find in some other shoes that are in the same category, but it's a solid workhorse daily shoe. However, if you are comparing it with other shoes like the ones in this value list, you're probably better off buying the older versions of these shoes, or the shoes at a cheaper price in the sales, than going for the full price for the Kiprun KS900 Lite. Finally, the Reebok Floatride Energy 5 is a great option. It comes in really, really cheap. So it starts at £85, but you can get it for about £55 now. It's not the most amazing shoe in the world. It's just a solid workhorse shoe like many of the other shoes in this list. It hasn't got the softest midsole. It hasn't got the most responsive midsole, but it ticks off a lot of boxes, and it's very hard to find a shoe cheaper than this at the moment. So it's well worth picking up if you're looking for something really cheap, but will do everything you need it to do for those easy general miles, and it can even pick up the pace a little bit more because the midsole's a little bit firmer. That's it from us on this guide. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget, if you like our videos and you watch them all the time and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you haven't heard of the podcast and you like listening to podcasts, then you can go into the caption below and you can find a link to that. If you like that as well, please give us a subscribe on the podcast provider of your choice. Right, thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.